Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to open an Elves vs. Inventors duel deck. I just got this from the Gamestop sale they had this weekend for the Black Friday thing, the buy one get one 50% off thing. I had actually made two orders. One was just two Throne of Eldraine collector's packs, and I posted a video earlier of what UPS did to those on the way here because GameStop just put them in an envelope and they got destroyed. The other one I got two of these and two more of the collector's boosters, and because these were with them, they put them in a box. So the collector's boosters actually arrived in one piece on those. So anyways, I wanted to open this. The reason I got these, I didn't get these as any kind of investment or anything. I got these because there's some cards in here that I want to use to help rebuild the elf deck that I'm going to be putting back together. So I just wanted to kind of open it up because these are for myself anyway. And there's Goblin Welders in here. This is such a great card. I can't believe the price is so low on it these days. I guess it's because they reprinted a bunch of times, but that card when it first came out was such a beast. It's still really usable. Yeah, I might come up with a cool combo for that, and then I'll show you guys when I do. So anyways, let's bust into this thing and see what we got in here. It's the first time I've opened up one of the duel decks at all, so this will be interesting. Unfortunately, GameStop put those giant stickers on it, so kind of ruins the package, even if I did want to hold on to them and see if they turned into some collector's items down the road. Yeah, we got our quick reference guide there on how to play the deck, I'm sure. Yep, stuff underneath. Alright, looks like here's our two deck boxes. It's kind of weird, they're sideways deck boxes. I don't know if they're big enough for sleeves or anything, but there's our deck boxes anyways. Here's our pull out. Now, there's a lot of wasted space on art and a little tiny bit of text. About the other side here. Oh cool, this one actually does come with lists of what's in the decks in case you decide to tear the decks apart and you want to put them back together eventually, which is nice. Oh, and it's they also put the original set that all the cards came from, which is nice. So, well, at least it says notable printings. I imagine it's probably all the first print runs of all the cards. So that's pretty cool. So you can hunt them down if you want more of the same cards. As with most of these things, it doesn't actually pull back up. Oh, hey, look, I got it. Imagine that. First time for everything. All right, let's actually get into the cards here. There's a fancy little plastic thing here. So we got our two dies. It's funny, on the box that showed a red and a green one, which made sense, but in the package we got a white and a black one. But they're red and green decks. Yeah. I like white and black better, actually. So, here's our cards on top, the two foils. We got the Goblin Welder, and then we got the Azuri Renegade Leader. Actually a cool card for an elf deck. Look at it. Look at it. Yeah. Yeah, that's an alternate win condition right there for an elf deck. So cool card. I really wanted that for my deck I'm rebuilding. I think it's worth like $1 or $2. Not really worth anything. And that's the foil version. Not really worth much, but like I said, this is more for fun for me. Knocking everything over here. So let's go on the red deck first here. Maybe. Possibly. Oh, look, there's a pull tab. I'm just not very observant. Well, yeah, this pull tab works really good. Yeah, it doesn't rip. Alright. Yeah, I'm feeling a little weak tonight. We're gonna break out the tools. Gotta be stronger than the plastic, Dan. Alright. So we got the Pia and Karen Nalar, two of them apparently. Dark Steel Plate, Meyer Battlesphere, Skittling Doom Engine, Solemn Simulacrum. This one actually is worth a few bucks, I believe. Thopter Assembly, Temple Epiphany. This is actually worth a few bucks also. Not sure how I feel about the Scry lands. I really hate lands that come into play tapped, but the scry is actually a really good ability. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn on it. On one hand, you can kind of look at it like a 1 mana cost scry, so because you're losing the land for a turn. Anyway, and then Shiver and Reap. Here's probably the most valuable card in the deck, I believe. It's probably about $5 or so at the time of this opening, or at least from what I could see. We got some commons. We got some uncommons: Riddlesmith, Treasure Mage, Trophy Mage, Whirler Rogue. More common: Barrage Ogre, Maverick Thopterist, Reclusive Artificer. More commons. There's some spell bombs in here. The spell bombs, some people like to stack those. I do like the draw ability. And they are a little useful. I just, you gotta sack them to do anything. So, Filigree Familiars, Voyager Staffs, those highly coveted islands and highly coveted mountains. But now there's one thing I did like about this also is that there's artifact lands in here. So the artifact lands don't seem like much, but if you're using a lot of cards that are affected by how many artifacts you have in play, having those artifact lands is really beneficial. Alright. Saltwater Cliffs, a couple of those. Darksteel Citadels, that's another kind of cool one. It's only colorless mana, but it is an indestructible land, which is nice. We got Foundry of the Consoles, creates Thopter tokens, and we got the Phyrexia's Core. Sack an artifact to gain a life. And we got some more commons, Sharpnel Blast, and then we got some Thopter tokens from the one card there that produces the tokens. Alright, so that's your red and blue deck. Will the pull tab work on this one? Let's see. Come on. No. Oh, hey, it actually worked, kind of. Well, it broke as soon as it started. Or was that the rest of the package? Yeah. Wizard's quality here. They don't make them like they used to is true for cars and apparently magic cars. So, we got the Dwynen Gilt Leaf Dane. Yeah, say that 10 times fast. This one's pretty cool for an elf deck because it gives all elves +1/+1. And whenever it attacks, you gain a life for each elf you control. Each attacking elf you control. So I think he's worth a couple bucks. And here's one of the ones I really wanted, the Elvis Archdruid. This guy is major mana acceleration in an elf deck because it gives all your other elves +1/+1. It's only a 3-drop 2/2. Plus, you can tap it to add a green for each elf you control. In an elf deck, you can pop out a lot of elves pretty quick, so that's really good acceleration. So he was probably one of the main reasons I wanted to buy some of these decks. Greatheart Cavalry, Regal Force, that one's I believe worth a couple bucks as well. You draw a card for each green creature you control. He's kind of pricey though. I probably wouldn't stack him just because he's so expensive. The only way I'd stack him is if I had some kind of way to put him into play without paying his mana cost, because I'm cheap. Sylvan Advocate, a couple of those. Talera's Battalion, Yiva Nature's Herald. This one's kind of cool because it's got flash and it allows you to cast any green creature spells as though they had flash as well. Or in Reef the Vestwood, another land that comes into play tap. This one you don't get to scry. It does let you put a 1/1 counter on each creature that entered the battlefield this turn. So if you're trying for a kind of swarm type thing, it might be handy. Elvis Aberration gives you 3 green mana. It's a heavy casting cost though, it's 6 casting costs, but it does have forest cycling, so if you are kind of mana locked, you can go grab a forest instead of casting it. Elvis Branchslander, here's another alternate win condition in a elf deck, even though it's common. I figured I'd mention it. You can make target forest an XX tree folk creature in addition to its other types, where X is the number of elves you control. So you got 10 elves out there, you can turn a forest into a 10/10 beast. Walk over there and do some damage. Anyway, good old Land of War Druids with a different name, or Land of War Elves with a different name. Bunch of those. Archers, more commons. I'll skip through the commons. You guys probably know all of them. Dwynen's Elite, a couple of those. Jagged Scar Archers. Radiant Shaman. Cool little, it's a 2/2 elf creature that helps pump up all your elf stuff in the deck, but it also lets you destroy an artifact when it comes into play. So that can be handy if you're getting locked up by some kind of artifact the opponent controls. And a ton of forest, because this is all mono green. A couple Tranquil Thickets. Again, they enter the battlefield tapped, but they do have a cycling capability, which is kind of cool, especially in a cheap elf deck where you're casting things quickly. It's hard to get cards in hand sometimes, so at least you can, if you got enough mana out there already, you can cycle it to draw a card. Personally, I'd just rather put a more useful card in the deck, but you know, that's just me. You got the Treetop Village that you actually turn into a creature. The problem is it's a 3/3 green ape creature. If it was an elf creature, it would fit the deck a lot more. There's 2 of those. Couple more commons. Nature's Way. A couple of those. Niss's Judgment. A couple of those. And then you got some Mire tokens. That's kind of funny. The other deck creates the Mire tokens, not this one. I guess they had to even them out. So there you have it. That's what's in the Elves vs. Inventors decks, the dual decks. So let me know what you think about some of the cards in here. Let me know if you run Elves. Well, I've always liked Elves ever since the early days with the good old Land of War Elf. He was just such a helpful little critter, you know. I mean, give you an extra land on the 3rd turn, or 2nd turn. You know, 1st turn, Forest or Taiga, and you know, Land of War Elves, 2nd turn, you got 3 mana. So I love acceleration. Any kind of mana acceleration for me is huge. Getting things out quickly is how you're gonna win the game. All right, guys, leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Have you gotten any of these? Do you have any other dual decks that you love that have really good cards in them that you think are just like huge epic wins right now? You know, I mean, is there any dual decks selling for like 20 bucks that got $40 worth of cards in them? Let me know. I'll grab some and we'll open them on the channel. All right, thanks guys. Bye.